So, leading our parade of miniatures team is a Burrell engine, a Burrell single-cylinder engine, an agricultural engine. So, most people use the term traction engine to cover all denominations of them, but this specific type of traction engine would have been used in agriculture for threshing, baling, and so on and so forth. They were the most numerous numbers of engines produced, and that's a Burrell in 4-inch scale. So to give you an idea, when we talk about scale engines, what we're talking about is inches to the foot. So if I say an engine is 4-inch scale, that's 4 inches to the foot. We're followed by a 3-inch scale Fowler, single-cylinder agricultural engine again. Don't see many Fowlers in miniatures, it's nice to see that one, and we do get more of the smaller scales here down south than we do up in East Anglia. There we have another Burrell single, followed by another one. They're a very popular model. Now we have the Foster Patricia. Foster agricultural engine tended to be slightly bigger framed than some of the other manufacturers. They're built in Lincoln, and you can always tell a Foster from the transfer on the side. Foster's, of course, also famous for developing the tank in the First World War. It's followed by a Fowler road engine, and then the first of our steam wagons is the Foden. And the steam wagon really is the forerunner of the modern lorry. You've got the load bed on the back there, and Foden wagons are pretty much all what are known as overtype wagons. They have the engine above the boiler as per normal traction engine practice, and a chain drive down to the rear axle. Now we have Dorothy. Dorothy is a Burrell Scenic Showman's engine in 4-inch scale, and the Scenic Showman's Burrell was the final development with the incoming of the scenic rides that demanded greater electric power. Burrell's added a second dynamo behind the chimney, which you can see on this engine, to help with the greater loads. Two lovely Fowler engines passing me now. One is a compound and one is a single. Most of your agricultural engines are single cylinder. They use the steam once and exhaust it up the chimney. The compound uses it twice, which gives great economy. 6-wheel Foden now, the other one in 4-inch scale, and that's followed by the 6-inch scale Garrett 4CD. Now, steam tractor. But a steam tractor is not an agricultural machine. It's actually a light haulage engine. They were very popular for timber work, furniture removals and so on. So like a light road engine, a smaller counterpart to the road locomotive. An interesting engine now passing me. This is the Savage. Frederick Savage, based in Kings Lynn, up in my neck of the woods, was an agricultural engineer. He built engines and farm equipment. He then went on to build fairground rides as well. First of our Marshall engines, again in 3-inch scale. Marshall traction engines, very popular with threshing contractors and farm work. They're a rugged and simple engine. They're very popular for export. There's a lot of them out in Ireland. 3-inch scale Burrell single now. Slightly smaller. If you imagine the scale of a distance up you have to drive to bring a 3-inch model around the arena, it's really quite an impressive achievement. We now have the amalgamated mini haulage display, and today we're featuring 3 single-cylinder Burrell traction engines. The front 2 actually fitted with round axles, which was something Burrells did for a period of time, and rather than have the traditional square cut front axle, they actually had a round axle. McLaren now. McLaren engines were built in Leeds. This is another 4-inch scale engine. This one's done out as a Showman's with the dynamo on the front, and as the name would suggest, the Showman's engine was simply used by the travelling showman to transport his rides from place to place and then generate the power to run the rides. And as time went on, fairground rides moved away from having a steam centre engine to having electric motors, and again the electricity was provided by the Showman's engine. There's that Fowler Road engine again. So I talked a little bit about steam tractors and something slightly larger scale, but compared to an ordinary traction engine like the one that's passing it, you'll see that it's fitted with belly tanks, front water tanks, motion covers as well. Would have higher speed transmission, all to make it easier to transport goods by road. Nice little Foden wagon there. And there's the Burrell Scenic again, looking very smart, very striking blue livery. The only full-size Burrell Scenic in blue is Exmare, which is at Remston this weekend. There's the Savage single again, like I was saying, Frederick Savage from Kings Lynn. They were quite extensive agricultural engineers, and yet somehow always better remembered for their fairground equipment, a lot of which of course is still working today. There's that nice little Marshall single again. We had a Marshall in the family back in the 1920s and 30s. A very good engine, it still survives. It's now down in the Reading area. It's actually at the Woodcock Rally this weekend. So the mini haulage, amalgamated mini haulage, about to pass us again with a nice Showman style dynamo as a load. And many of you will perhaps remember the amalgamated heavy haulage displays at Dorset and other places over the years, got up by people like Steve Neville and Jim Sarney, Lenny Crane and others. Always put on a good spectacle for people to watch. And now we have a crane engine, the type of engine that perhaps we work in a factory delivering boilers or heavy equipment. You see the crane jib on the front. That's another one of our McLaren engines. They were also built in Leeds. They were next door to Fowler's. Any allegation they were made in Fowler's discarded scrap metal is utterly refuted by people that like McLarens. Right, that wind's getting up. I have to say that little 3-inch barrel's on its second circuit around the arena, it's performing very well for a small engine. And there's Dorothy, the scenic Burrell again. The first of the scenic Burrells was actually Victory. I think it's number 3827, and that's up at the Thursford Collection in Norfolk. If any of you have been, when you've been up on holiday in Norfolk, it's well worth a visit. And after 40 years static in the museum collection, they actually returned Victory to steam 2 or 3 years ago, and it's now not only is it a star attraction at Thursford, but at other local events where it promotes the museum. So I think a big thank you to all our miniature owners for coming in, and there's no shade in the ring, so it's nice of them to come in on a day like this for us all to have a look, see their engines on the move. Where you'll see a lot of the full-size engines when they come in a little while have all been restored, and they've had hours and hours of work put into them. But in a lot of cases with a miniature, they've actually been built by the person who owns them and drives them, or by someone they know. And literally it's from starting with nothing. Many weekends and evenings of work that you can actually make an engine and you can come and take part in a parade, in a rally, something like this, and that must be a great feeling. I can see there's still plenty of engines on the move around the site as well. I can see the lovely powder ploughing engine over in the distance, and that's followed by the Foden Watty Pollock, which is towing the trailer rides at the minute. Do take the opportunity to have a trailer ride or to ride on the back of the Sentinel wagon, HMS Sultan, and they're all raising money for Serve Sussex, the Sussex Blood Runners, so a worthy cause and a chance to have a ride along behind an engine. And while I'm at it, I've got another call for Charlie Taylor. Can you come to the commentary point, please, and pick up your Sussex Steam Engine Club and AA membership cards that you've dropped while you've been walking around the rally. That's Charlie Taylor. Well, that's our first item of lost property reunited with the owner, so we're doing well. I do hope you're all enjoying yourselves this weekend. Do remember to drink plenty of water, and if you do start to feel a bit funny in the hot sun, first aid is over towards the working area, or just have a word with any of our stewards around the site. We'll be happy to assist you.